Have you ever wondered why the grass seems greener on the other side? Why is it we often believe that others have it better than us? These questions are more than just rhetorical reflection. They highlight a prevalent human tendency, a tendency that has been amplified in our modern digital age. Yes, my friends, I am talking about the dangerous game of comparison. In a world where every scroll, swipe, or click bombards us with glimpses into others' lives, it's almost second nature to compare our journey with theirs. We see their highlight reels, their perfectly curated moments of victory, joy, and accomplishment. And what do? We look at our own lives, our own journeys, and often feel a pang of dissatisfaction, a sense of lacking. But here's the truth we so often forget. Every individual's journey is unique. Every path is different. Comparison, my friends, is a treacherous road. It's a road that leads to discontentment and unhappiness. It breeds envy and fosters a feeling of inadequacy. It's a road that distracts us from appreciating our own journey, our own growth, our own accomplishments. The danger of comparison lies not just in the dissatisfaction it creates, but also in the limitation it places on our potential. When we are too busy comparing our chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20, we lose sight of our own potential, our own capacity to grow, to evolve, to achieve. But what if we were to shift our focus? What if instead of comparing, we started appreciating our journey, our struggles, our victories, no matter how big or small? What if we started celebrating our individuality, our uniqueness, our own path? Today, we investigate the hazards of drawing parallels and why focusing on our own journey is the only path to fulfillment. Because the truth is, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's just green where you water it. So let's water our own gardens, cultivate our own journeys, and watch as we grow, thrive, and flourish. Let me spin you a yarn about two friends, Farrell and Hassan, whose lives were turned upside down by the perilous trap of comparison. Farrell and Hassan were the best of mates, as thick as thieves they were, always together, always laughing. Their friendship was as solid and enduring as the great Scottish Highlands. But as they grew older and embraced the digital age, they began to fall into a pit of comparison. A pit of endless scrolling and double tapping, a pit called social media. Their once joyous friendship turned into a silent competition, each trying to outdo the other. Hassan, a talented musician, would post videos of his music, his fingers dancing on the guitar, his voice weaving tales of love and loss. Farrell, a gifted artist, would share his creations, his brushstrokes breathing life into canvas, his art speaking volumes of his depth. But instead of celebrating each other's talents, they started comparing. Hassan would see Farrell's art gaining more likes and comments, and his heart would sink. He'd look at his guitar and feel inadequate, his music suddenly seeming insignificant. On the other hand, Farrell would watch Hassan's music videos, see the praise pouring in, and feel a sting of jealousy. His art, which once brought him peace, now seemed lacking, and so the seeds of discontentment were sown. Their conversations, once filled with laughter and camaraderie, became strained. The sparkle in their friendship dimmed, replaced by an unspoken rivalry, fueled by the virtual world of likes, comments, and shares. Their lives were no longer their own. They were living for the approval of others, for the virtual applause that came with every post. The joy they once found in their passions was replaced by anxiety, the fear of not being good enough, of not being as good as the other. As this silent battle raged on, they began to drift apart. Their bond, once unbreakable, was now fragile, strained by the weight of comparison. They were losing not just their friendship, but their joy, their peace, their sense of self. And then, one day, they found themselves sitting on the same park bench, the silence between them heavy with unspoken words. Each lost in his own world of self-doubt and regret, they finally realized the damage they had done, not just to their friendship, but to their own selves. They looked at each other, their eyes reflecting the pain of lost time, the regret of wasted energy, the sadness of a friendship strained by comparison. And in that moment, they understood the truth. The truth that comparison was not just stealing their joy, but robbing them of their individuality, their uniqueness, their essence. In the end, they realized that comparison was the thief of joy, robbing them of appreciating their own achievements. From this story, a few poignant lessons emerge. First and foremost, we learn that comparison can be a thief of joy. It's a subtle thief lurking in the shadows of our minds, ready to snatch away our contentment the moment we start looking over our shoulder at someone else's journey. It's a lesson we all must learn, one that's especially critical in the age of social media, where everyone's highlight reel is on full display, often painting an unrealistic picture of success. The second lesson is about the importance of embracing our own path. Each one of us is on a unique journey filled with individual experiences, trials, and triumphs. Our paths are not meant to be identical to anyone else's. They are shaped by our passions, our values, our dreams. And it's on this unique path where we find our purpose and our true self. The third lesson delves into the significance of appreciating our own growth. We all grow at different rates, and that's perfectly okay. Some trees grow tall and strong within a few years, while others take decades to reach their full height. But each tree is beautiful and valuable in its own right. Likewise, our growth, no matter how slow or fast, is worth celebrating. And lastly, we learn that our journey is not a race. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's about endurance, resilience, and the ability to bounce back from setbacks. It's about learning, growing, and evolving at our own pace. It's about inhaling the beauty of the present moment and exhaling the anxiety of where we should be. These lessons remind us that it's crucial to stay focused on our own journey, to cherish our achievements, no matter how small they may seem. They teach us to celebrate our growth, to embrace our unique path, and to let go of the destructive habit of comparison. The key to happiness and fulfillment lies not in comparison, but in appreciating our own journey, our own growth. So, how do we break free from this comparison trap? It is important to limit our exposure to the selectively chosen best moments of others' lives. This means taking a step back from social media, the stage where the grand performances of comparison are often played out. It's not about shunning technology, but rather it's about using it wisely, consciously, and not letting it dictate our self-worth. Another important habit to cultivate is practicing gratitude. It's a simple yet powerful tool that helps us appreciate what we have instead of longing for what we don't possess. Gratitude has a magical way of shifting our focus from what's missing in our lives to the abundance that's already present. So make it a habit to count your blessings, not your shortcomings. Next, let's focus on personal growth and self-improvement. We need to remember that our journey is unique, and it's not meant to be a carbon copy of someone else's path. Therefore, instead of comparing our progress with others, we should strive to be a better version of ourselves each day. This means setting personal goals, celebrating our small victories, and learning from our failures. Let's also remind ourselves that everyone has their own timeline. Some flowers bloom early in the spring, while others blossom in the heat of the summer. Each has its own rhythm, its own time. We too have our own timing. We must respect that and learn to be patient with ourselves. Try surrounding yourself with positive influences, people who uplift us, inspire us, and believe in us. Let's choose companions who remind us of our worth and our potential, not those who breed self-doubt and comparison. And finally, we need to cultivate self-compassion. We are all works in progress, and it's okay to have flaws, to make mistakes, to be imperfect. Let's give ourselves the same kindness and understanding we so readily offer to others. Remember, the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. There's immense power in embracing your journey and your pace. As we journey through life, it's essential to remember that our path is uniquely ours. It's been carved out by our choices, our experiences, and our dreams. Each step we take, each stumble we make is a part of our story, a story that's unlike any other. The tale of our two friends illustrated this beautifully. One was caught in the trap of comparison, constantly measuring his progress against his friends. The other, however, understood that his journey was his own, and he embraced it, relishing each moment, each triumph, and even each failure, for he knew they were all part of his journey. Social media often paints a distorted picture, highlighting the peaks and hiding the valleys. But remember, it's the valleys that shape us, that make us who we are. So, the next time you're tempted to compare your journey to someone else's, remember this: your journey is unique, your path is your own, and your pace is perfect. Embrace it.